Hey everyone, this is Mel, aka nostalgiaspie, here again today. About a month ago, I went to, what was it called? I can't even remember. It was a site where you view houses and house listings and, whether or not they're for sale and how many rooms they have, etc. Chances are I'm gonna remember what it was called. Oh, Zillow. Zillow, that's what it's called. Zillow.com. And I looked at my old address that I lived in when I was a kid to see if anyone still lives in it, and they do. And the first thing I noticed when I went to the page was that it had a street view from Google Maps, and I got really, really excited because it's really, really high quality. It doesn't look that high quality on the camera screen, but if you go to the website in real life, then it is really high quality. Now this house, right here, that big brown house, that is my childhood home. And we have this, I guess it's kind of a small driveway, but it seemed big to us. It's really big in the back. It was a shared driveway. And I used to ride all the way down between the houses, and there's this little sidewalk with the neighbors that goes from here and up here and then back into the driveway, and I used to ride around that. So these images were taken by Google Maps in August 2013, which I think is amazing because it looks just like it did 10 years ago when I still lived there. It has been almost 9 years since we moved. So I am just really ecstatic to see such a high quality and up-to-date view of my childhood home. Even the tree that was in our front yard is still there. And if you zoom in, see those steps? My dad built those steps, and I remember them being built. You can also see the flower beds in front of the house. I used to weed in those sometimes. Alright, now it's a bit difficult for me to see what I'm doing on the camera screen. Here we go. Okay, so here's the house again. This was the neighbor's house. I had a couple of friends who lived there. Now, this is a fence. You can't see it very well, but it's a fence. And the area in between the house and the fence, we used to call the jungle because a lot of plants grew in there. If you look closely, you can see there are a bunch of bushes back there. And I actually managed to identify one type of flower that grew in there. It's called climbing nightshade. And it grows these purple and yellow flowers as well as some berries. We were told the berries were poisonous, so we didn't eat them, and I found out that it was not a lie. They actually are poisonous, so don't eat them. I see the neighbor's garage has been rebuilt. It was very, very old and run down by the time we moved. Alright, so this is the street I grew up on. Here are the houses that are still so familiar to me after all these years. These houses that were across the street from mine. And if you go down here, I'm going to try to see what I'm doing pretty well. If you go down here, this big building right here is a furniture store called Raymore & Flanagan. And I used to, when my mom would let me, she was very, very overprotective of me. When my mom would let me, I used to ride my bike all the way down to this parking lot. And as you can see, it's pretty big. And it's huge. It was like the perfect place to just ride around for a while. And it helped that it was almost always pretty empty. Sometimes there would be a big Raymore & Flanagan truck back here instead of this white van. I wonder if they still have those trucks or if they've replaced them with white vans. I'm not sure. And this may seem a bit strange, but I actually collected pieces of colored glass off the driveway of this parking lot. And yeah, I'm not sure driveway and parking lot are the same thing. They're probably not. Anyway, I'd collect them off the ground, and according to what color they were, I would call them different jewels, because I was kind of obsessed with jewels and rocks back then. And actually, I still have them. They're in a shiny metal box in my closet. So, this is Raymore & Flanagan. It's very, very high quality street view, which I am so ecstatic about this, you guys. I'm so ecstatic to see these high quality views of my childhood home. Alright, so if you turn onto our street, this is what you'll see. And I was also familiar with this plaza over here. This, oh shoot. The most famous one I remember, the most famous part of this plaza I remember, which it's called the Westgate Plaza, as you can see on this sign. The most famous part of it was called Rent-A-Center, and to this day I still don't really know what Rent-A-Center is, but you can see it right there. You can just see a center, but that's Rent-A-Center. I don't know, I've never done research on this company, but I'll have to check it sometime. Okay, so since I discovered this, which was about a month ago, I guess. It's crazy, it's been a long time. Since then, I have explored the city on Google Maps a lot, and quite a few things have changed, but others are still the same. Like, there are some stores that I still remember. Houses are all obscured by trees. But downtown Olean, this is Olean, New York, downtown Olean is still much the same. I even found the apartment building where we had our old church. That really tall building right there is like in the center of downtown Olean, and it's on the corner of the intersection where our church was. If I could just get down here more quickly, that'd be great. Yeah, you can see it better now. I don't know what it's called or what it's for. I was never inside it, but I passed by it a lot when driving around the city as a kid. This, I believe, is the post office. It's got a big parking lot there. I remember going there, like, once. Inside, anyway. Alright, so here's the intersection, downtown Olean. It's pretty much the same as I remember it, which is really great. I'm really happy about that. Guys, I am so thrilled that Google Maps decided to photograph and map the entire city in high quality. Now, I don't know what this building is, but I would always see that mural when we drove by. Let's see. So, over here, this black-fronted building right here, that's the Masonic Temple building, and we had church there for a while. We kind of hopped around from place to place, finding a place to host church. We even did it at our house for a little while. Yeah, so I do not think I will show the entire city in a single video, because it's already pretty long. But here are just a couple of other buildings. Yes, this is the post office, and this is the old library restaurant. Or so I remember it. When my sister got married, her wedding reception was here. It's much prettier on the inside. I will tell you that. It is very, very pretty on the inside. Anyway, so I'm going to just type in my old house number and go back to my childhood home. And there it is. I'm thrilled that this exists, guys. I've gone through the whole city and taken a ton of screen caps to preserve it in case anything ever happens to it, though it's Google Maps, so I doubt anything will happen to it, at least for a long time. I don't know, they might update it in years to come, but it's been almost 9 years since we moved, and not much has changed. So I'm not sure if anything will change. Now actually, here's a piece of exciting news. My mom told me that it's possible that next summer we will go back to Olean, at least for a little while, maybe a weekend trip or something. And I found out that it is socially acceptable to send a letter to the people who currently live in your childhood house and ask to come over, explaining everything. I mean, of course you could just show up at the door and tell them that, but it'd be a bit creepier, so I would recommend sending a letter beforehand. So, if it's ever confirmed for absolutely certain that we go to Olean next year, I am so gonna write a letter. I'm gonna write right away. Like, as soon as I know the date of our trip, if that's ever confirmed. Soon. So, we hope to go next summer, and by now I really hate traveling with my family, but this is one trip I would be willing to take. Like, very, very willing. I really want to take this trip. And I am so happy that I get to see my childhood home in such high quality. It's amazing. It's like it's frozen in time because it's changed so little. I mean, my whole life is so different now, but if I go back to Olean and back to my old home, it's like going back 10 years. So I guess this is the closest to time traveling I'll ever get. And if you'll notice, I'm speaking very quietly because my family is home and I don't want them to think I'm talking to myself or anything. Although if they asked, I would explain that I'm making a video. Anyway, so Google, if you ever see this, thank you so much for doing this. It means a lot to me. Like, you have no idea how much it means to me. Thank you so much. Nostalgiaspie signing off now.